And we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 21 of Comic Convos. Tonight's guest, every single Tuesday, we've got Rex Wang from Dynamite Dynamic Forces. So everyone in the chat room right now, please welcome Rex.
Hey, what's going on,
Yo,
Alec? How you doing, buddy?
good. How you doing today?
I see a lot of books still back there behind you, man.
And they're gonna stay there. They're staying there until the final day.
So the final day is exactly what day now?
It's going to be, well, technically we're leaving Thursday morning for next week.
Next week. Okay.
The
Got you.
17th, I think that's what it is. 16th. Let me get I got the date right here.
9 days, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna be leaving the 16th that morning.
Got you. Now, do you have pets and stuff, or
2 dogs?
Whoa, oh, that's right. You told me that. That's right. That's right. They may ride with your girlfriend, not you. You said.
Yeah, she's most likely going to be taking the dogs. That's going to be a horrible drive for me. So.
Yeah, well, it's a horrible drive. Period, dude. That's a long. So how long is it?
We're gonna have to stop and sleep because we're driving separate this time, but I think it's like 22 hours.
And you got the dogs too. I mean,
they're actually really good.
They're really good in car rides.
I'm really surprised. They sleep most of the time. They do good. What's up, Baldo? How you doing today?
Hey, Baldo. Thanks for joining us, man.
But yeah, typically they do pretty good. So I'm hoping for the best, especially, if we're separate driving. We'll see, though.
Yeah, I mean, but you're going to kind of like follow each other, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
what's up, Adrian?
What's that? Hey, Adrian
popped up,
buddy?
So the game plan I've got this week. So I've got this week's new comic book day and then this coming Sunday's previews video. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have next Wednesdays, I'll be able to film it. I'm going to do one final trip to my LCS, and then I'll be able to upload that still on Thursday. And then everything should still be good to go. Doing the final episode with the experience with you guys. And then I should be good for next week as well. Well, the week after that, but
right.
Should all be, no schedule changes. Should all be good.
We'll see a haggard Alec, that Wednesday, bags under your eyes, looking all tired and stuff.
No, I'm going to be shaved. Hopefully got a shaved and a fresh haircut too. I've been waiting until I get to Pennsylvania to get a haircut.
Oh, all right, I got you.
So I've been growing it out.
Something about Oklahoma's hair cuttery you don't like?
No, I went to the same person for my entire time out here. And since I got out, I haven't gone back to him. So I figured, screw it. I'll just wait till I get back to PA.
Right. I got you. Man, I feel bad for you because just the thought of that long drive just makes me cringe, man.
It's not the worst thing. It's definitely pretty rough. I think last time it was rough because I drank last time was the first time I ever had an energy drink on a drive like that. And it didn't sit well with me. I got like a massive headache and I never drink that stuff.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's funny. I read an article on why, because you've heard like in the recent past, all these energy drinks and the kids and they're dying and stuff. And it's just so bad for you. And even though they say it has the same content of caffeine content as coffee, I think I was just talking about this with Nick the other day. There's a reason for it. I'm a big coffee guy. Anybody that watches our experience shows knows that. But the reason that the coffee doesn't hit you like these energy drinks is those energy drinks, they're like soda, and you're just gulping it and you're quashing it real quick. But with coffee, it's hot. So you got to sip it. You can't just down it. And even if you're getting iced coffee, if you think about it, whenever you order iced coffee at a Starbucks or whatever, what's in the cup? A whole mess of ice, right?
Too, yeah.
So it's really diluting that caffeine content. So yeah, my daughter doesn't drink it. I told her years ago, I said, that stuff's really bad for you. I had years ago when Red Bull first came out, it was a party at a friend's house. And he said, oh, you got to try this. This is a new drink. And I had never had it before. And he goes, oh, it's a Red Bull and vodka. It's fantastic.
Oh, they're good.
They taste pretty good. But then when I got home, I was an alert drunk. And that didn't make no sense to me. They're contrary to each other. If I wanted to be alert, I wouldn't be drinking. Okay. Yeah. So I couldn't go to sleep, and I'm alert like this, but I'm a little bit woozy because I've had too much vodka in the Red Bull and vodkas. And then I don't know, when you pour something out and you pour it into a glass and it looks like pee, that usually turns me off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, those specific mixed drinks are really dangerous too. I mean, imagine you have, say, I mean, let's be honest. If you go to the bar and say you're drinking like rum and cokes, you're going to be getting a few rum and cokes,
Yeah.
But if you get a Red Bull vodka, say you get 3 or 4 of those, that's potentially a lot of Red Bull that you're just going to be drinking
Yep,
a very
that
short
is a
amount of
lot.
time.
Yep, it is a lot of caffeine you're consuming, and it's not good. And Adrian says, yeah, those cocktails can be dangerous.
They really
There's
are.
there's only one coffee aficionado in collectibles with Rex. That's not true. John is John is a coffee snob. You see, this is what I've discovered. So he brought me this like cappuccino thing one show. It might have been the show that we were on, because he turns his nose up.
Yeah. The other day.
Yeah. He turns his nose up at the Keurig. I personally, when Keurig was invented, I thought it was the greatest thing ever invented. I mean, I've had 2, 3 since they came out at my house, because it's just so easy. It's so clean. There's no pot to clean. You just pop that little cup in there, bang,
Yep.
cup of coffee. So, but it's I'm beginning to discover there's some real coffee snobs out in the world. I have a good friend of mine who's also, he wasn't a coffee snob. I used to be able to bring him Wawa coffee. He's the head of my daughter's softball organization that she coaches with now. Played for him, so I've known him for years. And I guess when the pandemic locked everybody down, he opened up with all these new hobbies. And he's ordering these special beans that he that he has the grinder at home. And I called up my daughter's team at practice, and he was going to be at the facility. And I'm like, hey, I'm stopping at Wawa. You want a cup of coffee? He goes, I don't drink that crap anymore. I'm like, what crap? Coffee? He goes, I don't drink Wawa coffee. I'm like, man, you turned into a coffee snob. What happened? But yeah, those cocktails can be dangerous. Yeah, that's a very good point. You got to be careful with that stuff.
Absolutely. So obviously tomorrow's Wednesday. I see a bunch of cool books back there. You want to talk about those a little bit?
Wednesday. That is correct.
Now I do have a serious question.
Always, and I want to give Amy credit. And so we take these books out, and Nick does like a 2-3 minute video that we post on YouTube, our YouTube channel, the Dynamite YouTube channel, not the Experience, every week to kind of introduce what's upcoming. And it's Amy that diligently takes care of grabbing the books. She prints out a little list for me that I read off of, and for Nick as well. So I want to give kudos to Amy for taking care of that for us every single week. But yeah, we did. Any problems with deliveries? Have you heard anything from your LCS about tomorrow?
Not that I'm aware of. I am going to call after this stream though, just to make sure they're good.
Gotcha. So
I mean, they only had that one incident, and they still got the book. Well, actually, they didn't get the books till like that weekend. But the only other problem that they had was they got it that morning. But other than that, I mean, knock on wood, they've been good.
Yeah, no, it's a lot going on. I mean, you got supply chain issues,
Absolutely.
The trucking issues that are going on right now. So, surprised it didn't happen earlier.
What's up, Goat Tickler?
I can't even read that one.
Oh, we got the
Goat Tickler.
Yeah, we got the Goat Tickler in.
What's up, man? Thanks for joining doing an AR show tonight. That's a good one.
That's a good name.
And hopefully, by the time you've made the big move, we'll have we set up a new place to shoot the show, and then we bought the big screen, so I won't have to constantly lean over to try to read. It should be like big billboard sign kind of printing of the chat, so I won't have some of the difficulties I have trying to read that stuff. But for Dynamite this week, we've got a lot coming out. Let me see. We have Vampyverse number 4, and let's see. We have A through E covers. Steven Segovia is the artist on cover B, so that should be a great read. Nick's number 2 also coming out this week with 4 different covers, and James Bond Himeros number 3. That we have let's see, two different covers. One by Francesco Francavilla, and the other one by Butch Geist. So that should be a good one. And then we've got Red Sonja number 4. Let me see. Ooh, we've got a Linsner cover. Cover C will be the Linsner cover, but we have looks like 5 different covers. So that's what's coming out for Dynamite this week. As always, trying to introduce people, as many people as we can. I know we've kind of turned you into a fan, Alec, and Robbie's been kind of a fan because Robbie has that it's a big horror guy, So I know that he's certainly read Vampy and stuff like that. But so that's what's coming out this week, and then we have the show tomorrow. Now,
Absolutely.
Big announcement. Nah, not really. Tomorrow, I actually won't be here for the show. So you're going to get Amy and John. So probably the quality of the show will actually go up.
No, don't say that.
I'm just kidding.
You're important to the episode.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. You and my mom, two big fans. But last week was a great show. We had Ken Hazer, who surprised.
Yeah, Ken Hazer popped in.
That was pretty cool. You never know who might show up on our shows. So he came out and he was in the chats and he was watching the show. So we're hoping, we talked about this on last Wednesday's show, is we're hoping to have Ken join us and actually join us for a show. And he talked about maybe doing a sketch live, and that's going to be pretty cool. But all got to work hard to prevent John from forcing Ken Hazer to draw a Green Hornet remark, because none of us want that. No. I'm kidding. But he's already working on it now. I think they're on social media DMing each other, and he's trying to convince Ken to for the remark that he's going to sketch on air to do Green Hornet. But that will be great. So stay tuned. We're trying to set it up now. Obviously not something I think we can be able to squeeze in during the holidays, before the holidays, but probably maybe beginning of the year, whatever. And it seemed like that really livened everything up. I think the viewers really enjoyed it, having Ken join us. So we may try to do something with that. Maybe try to do it on a regular basis with different creators if we can.
That would be cool. I was actually talking to Ken too. So if anyone is interested, if you're watching this right now, he is open to commissions. Yes. He messaged me. I forgot to get back to him. It's probably been like half a week now. So if you're watching this, I'm sorry. But yeah, I've got a nice stack of books. I got to figure out which one I want to possibly send him. Right. With moving and everything, it's just been really hectic.
Yeah, I would kind of think. Yeah, you might want to tell Ken you'll have to get back to him after the move. Yeah, you've got a pretty crazy week ahead of you there, my friend.
It feels like I've between moving stuff, trying to sell off some of these bigger books, it's just been like one thing after another.
Hey, listen, a move like that, cross country like that, is never easy to begin with.
Oh, I know.
But now you're trying to get a whole bunch of stuff done. You're doing your live streams. You're doing all of that stuff. That's and I know you're going to be on Whatnot. You said on Thursday, right?
Thursday. It's going to be 6:00 EST. I'm going to be doing it's the moving sale part 4. It's pretty much all slabs and just key books. So it's going to be no filler stuff, all big stuff.
Right. And the slabs are heavier to move anyway. If it gets bad, just remember, tell all your Whatnot fans, help me, please. Otherwise, I'm going to end up having to move this all the way across the country. Buy it now, please. I beg you.
I got to pay for the pod. That thing's like $2,600.
Yeah, those things are cheap.
Man. Oh my God.
It does make your life a little easier.
It definitely does. I mean, all these books are still going to be with me because I don't know how pods work, but I don't think I trust that. But either way,
yeah. Well, I mean, you pack it yourself, right? The pods, and and then they just come pick it up. Yeah. I mean, you know how these things go, man. Unless you got to pack real tight where there's no movement, you're gonna have some movement because they got to lift the pod up, put it back on the back of the truck, and then I don't know how they get it across country. I guess they put it, in a bigger truck, and that's how it rolls.
I get nervous. I don't know how that works. I feel like they could just check out whatever's in there and go through the boxes if they really wanted to. I don't know.
I think, well, don't you put your own lock on it?
I don't know. I've never had a pod.
You did. I thought that's the way it worked. Basically, they drop the pod off in your driveway, you pack it up, you lock it up, and then they just come get it.
Oh, they might.
That's as I understand it, but I've never actually used the pod. Because of the whole concept of moving. My daughter was a year old when we moved into the house we live in now. She's 21 now. Okay. There have been times like over the last year, the market was so hot. I was thinking, man, I don't need all this space and thinking, but then I'm thinking, man, I don't really want to move, dude. And I got to pack all my stuff up and I would move probably within town. So it wouldn't even be like your move, but hey, Dave Cerrone in the house. And then Comic Mike, let's see, also in the house. What's going on? Thanks for joining us.
What's up,
Dave,
guys?
Where were you last Wednesday? I think Dave missed it too, right? Ken Hazer popped and surprised us in the chats and stuff.
Yeah.
So we were hanging with Ken Hazer, brother. You missed it.
And Dave said, AR, are you going to record the packing process for your Omnis? I probably won't end up doing that. I do plan on, so as far as the channel does go, I am looking to add another segment to the weekly videos, and I'm gonna probably film my local comic book shop and do like another walkthrough video with them because I haven't done it yet. But so what I'm looking to do is obviously every Sunday I do the previews video and then Thursday's the top 10 list. But I'm trying to gauge if anyone is interested in this. I know I tend to stay away from speculation, but I was going to do another kind of previews video for every Tuesday that's going to focus on all of new series with first appearances, or anything big that's kind of happening. And we just go a little bit more in depth of that. So it'd be not, I guess, a speculation video, but all bigger books to potentially look out for on New Comic Book Day. So I've kind of been asking around to see if there was interest in that. And so far, I mean, everyone seems like, seems like something they'd be interested in watching. So we're going to see how that goes.
I think that'll be real interesting. I think that's worth doing, and I think that because you've talked about doing it in the past. I mean, doing those walkthroughs at LCSs.
Definitely that.
Well, you know what? When you move back into this area, I think it's going to be probably a lot easier because obviously Northeast is much denser than out in Oklahoma, so the shops are closer together. So you're able to get to more of them without having to drive too far.
Yeah, so that'd be cool. And plus, I am going to be working at my LCS when I get home. As of now, I think it's only part-time, but I think that was just kind of a thing so that they could put it down on paper for me. But right. I think it is going to be more of a full-time gig, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, that's the game plan. I'm going to start working there. I'm still going to be able to do everything channel-wise. I think with them, it's going to be more working sales and doing stuff like that, fun things.
Right.
But then we got Adrian. He says, more of a new keys coming to this New Comic Book Day. Yeah, something along those lines. Like, I'm still going to go through all of the pretty much it's going to be kind of the same setup as what I do now for the previews video. Like, start off with some of the smaller indie publishers, then I get into the real indies, and then DC, Marvel on top of that. And it's going to be, so say with those, like, they have a brand new series coming out. Like, everyone was freaking out over Ablaze's, I think it was called Animal Castle last week or 2 weeks ago at this point. And it's selling for like $30, $35 on eBay. And while I did talk about it, I didn't really go too in depth with it. But now this video would have been more of, so Ablaze has this new series coming out. It's called Animal Castle. This is what it's about, and then kind of give my thoughts and opinions on that. So obviously, if it has a first appearance, I'm going to be talking about that as well, but it's just going to be kind of focusing more on the brand new stuff, because at this point, with how books are selling and how popular everything is, people are really shifting towards some indies with the idea that it could be, a movie or a TV show at some point. And some of these new series, they're honestly really good. I really enjoy reading some of them, but even with some of them, when you're done reading it, you think to yourself, this absolutely has potential to maybe be a TV show or movie. And at that point, maybe if it is a smaller indie company, I'd hate to use Ablaze again for the example, but we're still talking about that book. It's probably a very low print run. So if maybe you're more interested in speculation, you're looking to buy new stuff to potentially hold on to, that's what this video is going to be more for. Not the casual reader, more people who are interested in, long-term holds, or just maybe even a quick flip, knowing that there is a new first appearance that could be, big in the eyes of some people.
I think that's going to be a very popular show on the channel, because, we kind of touched on this when you and I talked, I guess it was last Wednesday. And then we kind of touched on it last night as well. Looking at, you have some purists, I guess, that think that all of these people, they watch the MCU, they watch DC Universe, they watch The Boys on Netflix, whatever, and all of a sudden they're going out there and scooping up copies, but they're not really reading. Mm-hmm. And people kind of get angry about that. But I think that I understand the point they're trying to make. So I'm not trying to insult the purists out there. But in the end, though, I think that's a good thing, because it helps the comic reading market grow, okay? And it helps in terms of people that are speculating to help values rise. And, I know people feel like, well, they're not really reading the books. They're not really into the storyline or the source material. They're just buying it because, Spider-Man No Way Home is coming out or something like that. But we want this industry to grow, right? And there are a lot of us that love the comics. We love the format, and we've been with it while the movie part of it or the TV series part of it has started to expand around us. So I kind of understand it. I mean, you always have that. I mean, in sports, comics, whatever, people are like, old school, back in the day, we didn't do that kind of thing.
Thank you, Dave.
But, it's only a good thing, because guess what? Somebody who's been an avid reader, an avid collector, was buying the X-Men issues, the Claremont period, and they stored it away, whatever. Now, all of a sudden, the value rises, okay? And maybe they need the money for something. Who knows? Maybe they're moving from Oklahoma back to Pennsylvania or something of that nature, right?
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. And it helps the market grow. And out of that group, you're always going to get a percentage. I don't know what it is.
Yep.
Okay? It's not like I've done a study or anything like that. So I'm just pulling numbers out of my head. But there's always going to be a percentage that you're going to convert over. And that just makes the entire readership grow. And then it generates more traffic, okay, to the LCSs. And that's really, that's really what we want to happen, We don't want.
I definitely agree. I was going to say, and I know I've talked about it in the past. I've talked about it on a lot of my videos. I tend to stay away from spec. I'm really not a huge fan of it. And everything you said, I do totally agree with it. I do think there is a good place for speculation in the comic book community, in the whole just, comic book hobby in general, because that's what really brings a lot more people in there as well. Because, even like you said for No Way Home, and now all of a sudden everyone's starting to learn about who the Sinister Six are. It's like, oh, well, who is that? And then boom, they go back, they look at the comics. And at this point, those people, if they're interested in buying the comics, they're definitely way too late to the game on that. But I think with what I might be trying to do could be a little different, because it's just bringing kind of more awareness to some of these new series and just new things that are coming out for New Comic Book Day. It's not me saying, hey, this book is going to have a first appearance. I think you need to hop on this. I think you need to buy this. I'm not going to be pushing books like that. I'm not going to be saying, I think this is going to have a long-term hold for this reason. It's going to be more of, there is a first appearance. Take that for what it is. I'm not reading the series, whatever. But this is like for Batman, I don't think Batman 118 comes out this week. I think it's next week, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think there's a first appearance in that. But in reality, new writer, new artist, brand new arc with a first appearance, you never know where that could go. So
I agree with you. Well, first thing, most of the videos on your channel are very straightforward, forthright. You're very honest. You don't like something, you say it. So I think that there's a need for that, because whether a comic collector or reader likes the speculation or dislikes the speculation, the problem is it exists, and liking it or disliking it isn't going to make it go away. So having more knowledge or information about it is not a bad thing. It's a good thing, in my opinion. I mean, you can go back, and this is not to in any way to disparage slab comic books, but to me, I don't have one. I have the Dynamite books out. But to me, a slab comic is the ultimate question, or the ultimate, part of speculation, because it's slabbed and sealed permanently in plastic. You can't open it, you can't touch it, you can't read it. Okay,
it's just simply a collection piece.
Exactly, it's graded, okay? And what is the purpose of grading it? What was ever the purpose of grading it?
Probably to sell it. And I'm not going to lie, that's what I've done, and that's why my next auction is going to be that way. It's because these are books that I slabbed for that specific reason. Well, most of them were slabbed for that specific reason. Some of them I actually did just so I could hold on to.
Right.
But I knew I was going to be moving. I knew this, I'm just going to have big expenses coming up, so that's why I did this. And yeah. So
it looks like Dave has a question for me.
This is a great question too. So
a lot of hardcovers. How do we get more Dynamite hardcovers so AR can buy more books? I would say speak to John. I don't know how effective that is, but that John is constantly on Nick about stuff. So that would be a good way. But I don't know. I know that hardcovers, omnibuses. I mean, it's always in a discussion. It's just a matter of right time, right place kind of thing. I don't deal with the editorial side of Dynamite, so I don't know exactly what their plans are going forward. But Dave, listen. You're such a great supporter of ours. We'll definitely pass the question along. You should, and I know you communicate with Nick, so you should mention it to him as well. But listen, I want to touch on something that we talked about yesterday, and it's something that it wasn't that we didn't know, but we just kind of didn't realize. I know that a lot of our viewers for both your show, Robbie's channel, The Experience, a lot of these people do their own YouTube videos, streams, or whatever, or maybe on a different platform. If you are such a person, reach out to us, okay? Because you know what? I guarantee you that one, two, John, three of us we'll check your channel out. We'll hit the thumbs up. We'll subscribe. We'll depending on what platform you are, we'll do that as well. Because something we touched on yesterday was this is probably
What up, man?
one of the nicest, I don't know, communities out there. Okay, you have a lot of communities that do different things that have different hobbies, but this is one of the nice ones. And Dave's one of the good guys as well. Between him and Ron Shepard, sometimes we've got best offer going on. And these two guys are like, well, do you really want it, Ron? No, you can take it, Dave. You didn't get the last one. Who does that? It's one of the nicest communities ever, and we all need each other. Okay, we're not competing against one another. We're competing against the do-it-yourself video, how to build a shelf video, just other videos or other types of products, merchandise, whatever you want. We're trying to bring people into the comic community, and we're all just trying to help each other. So absolutely, if that's what you're doing, let us know. But I also want to say we are absolutely, what's that?
I said, this is facts. Heard the news that the Boys Omni is being talked about. So they'll soon be arriving in AR's collection. Sure, I got the first two, but ever since Nick made that comment about maybe a hardcover's coming, I stopped everything. I'm waiting for that hardcover. I know it's going to happen now.
Well, I didn't get that memo, but I'm not usually copied on those memos. So.
Oh wait, unless if that was real, Nick recently revealed some new hardcovers.
That Nick recently said some new hardcovers coming out in 2022. Boys, which we just mentioned, and Red Sonja, Black, White, and Red. So like everything else, when we have statues on our show, Dave is usually the one before anybody else hitting the dimensions for us, and we appreciate you, Dave. But that's the other thing I want to mention for certainly the shows on The Experience. He, our viewers really make the show. They really, the interaction with them, the questions they have, sometimes even the jokes. I constantly have Ron Shepard sending me jokes. He's hilarious, this guy. And off the not when we're doing a live stream, he'll just email me a random joke through the course of the day. Sometimes you're having a bad day, you open up Ron's joke, and he's got me gut busting laughing about it. He's just a really funny guy. But the guys like Dave, Dave has shown us so much support, so we appreciate each and every one of our viewers, and continue to support AR, because if you haven't already, I know a lot of these people are regular viewers for your channel. If you haven't already subscribed, hit thumbs up, share. That's the biggest thing. Help AR grow, just like he's trying to help The Experience grow. We're all in the same boat. Got to be rowing in the same direction, otherwise we'll be rowing in circles.
Now, I want to circle back to something you said earlier that I really liked. And by the way, Lucas, I did not miss this question. We will come back to that one. I won't forget. But super quick. So when you said, like before, we're all in this together, and it's like if we were talking about if people do have a YouTube channel, someone does a comic book channel, we're not competing with each other. I love that. We truly are not competing with each other. There are so many other people out there that all are just making awesome content, whether it's, I do a lot of New Comic Book Day stuff. There's other people out there that do not New Comic Book Day stuff. Do you think I reach out to them and I say, hey man, I make that video, you can't make that video? And then, Jem does a top 10 list now, and he does his comic book reviews. Do you think Jem reached out to me and was like, hey, you can't do comic book reviews, I do that? No, because we're all in a comic book community. We all enjoy reading these books. We all enjoy doing this type of stuff. There's no reason to be putting other people down to just say your channel's better. What really should be happening is more people should be doing more stuff with each other to really get this community going, you know, really promote comic books and just make this hobby as big as it possibly can. So I love that you said that. We
Well,
shouldn't be hating on each other and like trying to compete. I mean, definitely competition's great. We should see if someone's doing better, and then, you know, that's going to give you the motivation to want to do something better too. But I mean it more as we shouldn't be trying to put someone else down. So,
no, and you know what? It's funny. You know, I think I used this example last night on last night's show. Is, you know, the speculation and the rising prices of comics is not a bad thing, and that's what I was kind of trying to express. And the beauty of it, what makes it unique, it's great. You know, values are going up. That's good news. You know, for the person who owns the comic, the person who doesn't own the comic, it may not be such great news if that particular issue goes up in value, right?
yeah.
But the key point is, the example I tried to make is, what makes this so different? Yes, can you buy a comic and watch it appreciate and speculate? You sure can. But the difference is that the core will always be those that love to read them, you know, grew up with them, that kind of thing. Because you go into a bar in the financial district of any city, okay, and you've got guys in suits and ties, and they're sitting there having a drink, and they know each other. And what do they talk about? You know, they talk about how much money I made today, how much money did you make today, and all that stuff. Comic guys, all right, guys and gals, what do we talk about? We talk about this issue. We talk about the industry. We talk about problems like, you know, LCS not getting a shipment. But we're not out there going, well, you know, what did you do? Did you sell this many comics, or did you read this many comics? No, we talk about, hey, did you read that issue of whatever? Okay, I did. Did you like it? Nah, maybe he didn't. You know, maybe he did. And then the discussion ensues, which is great. You know, nobody has ever gone out and said, wow, I really love that stock and that bond. Okay, nobody's ever said that. They've never fell in love with a stock or a bond. Did they like the money if they made money? They sure do. But that's the same thing, okay? You're loving the money. You're not loving the stock. Comics are very different, okay? You can love a particular issue, a particular title. You can hate a particular issue in a particular title that someone else may love, okay? But it's you know, that's why I think that we're unique. We're unique in the world in that we're like, we see each other as friends, colleagues, whatever, but we're trying to help each other because the ultimate goal is, how can you not read comics? They're so great, you know, and we're trying to convince people of that. Okay, now, we're not going to convince everybody. Some people are going to walk away and go, dude, it's Rex, a crazy comic guy. Man, I wish he'd shut up about the comics. But, you know, out of 10 people that I do that with, if we pick up 2, that's a good day right there. You know,
I mean, it really is that simple. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm going out there trying to convert people to comic books like, hey, you need to read this right now. But it's, say you do mention it to a few people and one person does turn and is like, hey, that's awesome. Boom. Someone else just entered the community, and then it's a whole new experience for them. They're going to see all these different titles, all these different books, artwork, artists, you know, it's such a cool experience.
Joffrey in the house. What's going on, Joffrey? Thanks for joining us, buddy. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what really, really kind of makes the comic collectible community unique, you know, in that we just, you know, we love the books, but when we get together, what do we want to do? We want to talk about them. You know, we want to exchange of ideas, of interests, and things like that. So, and I think that's why this has kind of developed the way it has. You know, certainly the YouTube channels and the shows that people are putting out there, why we're able to band together as opposed to maybe some other hobbies or whatever the case may be, you know, and they're not really doing that. They're really kind of coming for each other in a sense, you know, trying to beat each other up, whatever, you know, I'm the better beauty influencer than you are, you know, or something.
Yeah. And some other YouTube channels with different topics, you know, maybe it is more of a competition, you know,
right.
For example, if it's a game, maybe not even gaming, but if it is gaming, they might take a technique or something and say, hey, you know what? I'm better than this guy and I don't like what he does. And they might even talk about it on a stream, or say even, I don't know, like you said, cooking. Maybe someone's trying to come out with a better way to cook something. Like, there is some real competition, and maybe they won't like how things are done. But with this, you're literally just talking about opinions, and you're just talking about stuff you like. That's why I really like this community. And that's kind of circling back as to why I continued even to make videos with the channel, is because when I started doing a previews video, added in the top 10 list, it's like a nice segment that just brings everyone together. You know, they watch what books are coming out, and then they pick up their books, and then they tune in to see what my top 10 books were. And then they talk about in the comment section what their books were, what they really enjoyed.
Right.
And man, the comment section on my videos, there is never hate. There's no negativity. Sometimes they don't like what books I pick, but they usually follow it up with, I like this book instead. And it's really good conversation. And I'm really happy with just the way everything's going in the channel, the community that is just there. I just honestly do really love it all. It's been so much fun.
It is. And you know what? And at a risk of sounding almost a little bit, I don't know what the right word would be, but you know, maybe the whole world as a whole could take an example from the comic book community. You know, I mean, I don't know what everybody does or what walks of life they come from, you know, the viewers and so on and so forth. The only thing I really know is that we all share a love of comics. Okay. And based on that one thing, all right, we're able to treat each other civilly, talk to each other, joke around, have some fun. And to me, that you know, the world could use a little bit more of that.
Yeah. I'd say my biggest issue is that I don't watch more people's stuff. There's like, you know, I mean, Robbie makes really good stuff. Jem, Comic Tom's out there, and you know, even all the other speculator guys too. Like they make really good stuff, but man, it'd be a lot of time investing in watching some videos. You know,
it is right. It is, but I mean, you know, but we're you know, again, we're all here to support one another. So you know,
I do.
If there's anybody, you know, that's a viewer of AR show, Rock and Robbie with the pop culture philosophers. And then, you know, our experience show, you know, let us know.
You heard that, Rex?
If you do your own thing. I can't, Dave, I can't treat John any better. Come on. I treat him nice. You know, if he brought that taco truck around, I'd probably be able to treat him a little bit better.
Now I know we're on 36 minutes. I know we always want to keep it, but I do want to circle back to Lucas super quick before we start to wrap this one up, because that was a really good question, especially if he's trying to get into, you know, just Dynamite in general. So Lucas says, what is a good jumping on point for Dynamite? Now that is a very kind of hard question for Dynamite, in my opinion, especially after, you know, starting to read a lot more stuff from Dynamite. So what I felt was, on the outside looking in, you know, you've got Vampirella, you've got Red Sonja, Elvira, and these very, very established characters that have been ongoing, especially through Dynamite, for a very long time. So as someone on the outside looking in, that might be a little, you know, that might be a little hard to pick a spot, or it might be overwhelming and thinking, well, I'm not going to know a backstory. I'm not going to know this. Once you start reading Dynamite, once you actually really get into the Dynamite books, I've recently started reading the new Red Sonja series. Keep looking for Nyx. I did read Evil Ernie, a few other ones as well. You know, the Army of Darkness book, the Kiss book. These are brand new. A lot of them are new series that are kind of more, you know, mini series. Not all of them are really ongoing. And I feel like they do a great job with these mini series about not kind of confusing someone as to, you know, they're not all tied in with each other. I'm sure some of them are, but from what I've read, they all do a great job really setting up a story. Like the new Red Sonja. Obviously, I don't know who Red Sonja is fully because I haven't read a lot of stuff, but the series started off very strong with, you got a little bit, you get to see her personality. You get to see who she is. We don't know her backstory well. We don't know where she came from, stuff like that, but we learn immediately the type of person that she is. And then from there, the story takes off. Evil Ernie, the brand new series that just came out, you get a lot of backstory on Ernie. You pretty much find out everything that's going on, and that was a great first issue. Same with Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness is a little different because that's been going on for a long, long time with movies as well. But you still, if you have a baseline understanding of Ash and Evil Dead, you could jump into that no problem. It's just a fresh, brand new Army of Darkness story. And same could be said with Kiss. There's no backstory on Kiss besides that they're a music band. So if you want to read that new Kiss series, Phantom Obsession, just pick it up. It's a great start to a brand new story. I think there's one issue left, maybe two. But really, if a brand new series comes out from Dynamite, I'm just going to assume right away that it's probably a good jump on point. You might not have all of the info, but usually there's a good amount of some sort of backstory that you learn who, like basically who the characters are. And I think they did a great job with that.
No, and I agree with you. And Dave mentioned to Lucas, another great starting point is tomorrow night. I won't be here, but AR will be here with with Amy and John, every show we have what we call the Dynamite 10-pack reader set.
Yes.
And you're going to get 10 random Dynamite titles with a cover price of $3.99 or higher. So really a kind of a $40 retail. And we're practically giving it away for $5. And it's $5 every single show except for the one show where Nick didn't have enough animal protein and lowered it to like $2.04. But it's $5, 50 cents a copy. So essentially, it's a great way to just kind of get a what do they call it? A sampler platter, if you will.
Pretty much. Get an idea.
Yeah, and you know your total investment. You know, if you read them, I think you're going to love them. We've made AR a fan as well. But even if you hated all 10 titles, they cost you 50 cents a title. It cost you $5. Okay, that's you know, right now, if you a cup of coffee at Starbucks will probably cost you more than that.
Honestly, would.
Yeah.
And
so
if we're being
kind of get your feet wet.
I was gonna say, if we're being even if we're being real about this, comic book 10 reader set, you can get another set as well. And they said that they do their best to not put duplicates in there. I mean, if you start ordering a lot, that's, things are going to get a little tough sometimes. But worst case scenario, you spent $5. Maybe none of those are like an issue number one. Maybe some of them are deep in the series, a few issues in. And, you might not have that great of an understanding, but the big takeaway is that you can look at this series. You can look at what it for what it is, the artwork, even the dialogue, how things are going, and just you can get a baseline of if that's something you are interested in, and then maybe even skim through it, see what you did like, what you didn't like, and then grab the back issues, and then you can get the full story. So like you said, a good sampler pack, but I think the best takeaway is that it's going to lead you into definitely getting those back issues.
Right. And then, on our shows, when AR joins us on Wednesdays, we have slab books. Very rarely is any CGC slab book going to be lower than a 9.6. So a lot of times it's 9.8s. We have signed books by some legendary creators like John Romita Sr., Frank Miller. You'll get ultra limited edition Dynamite variant covers like ones by Alex Ross, Lucio Perillo, the whole gambit, and we try to bring them to you at ridiculous prices. And again, if Nick is not eating animal protein, sometimes the prices get really crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, there always are like really good deals. The Ken Hazer artwork, the mega pack is always awesome. It's like a 9.8 slab on top of like a signature book, a sketch covered book. It's an insane deal for $100.
Yeah, I mean, we try to mix it up a little bit, and we also depend on the viewers. I mean, if there's something you're looking for, let us know. I mean, if we can get our hands on it, we will.
Awesome. And well, on that note, we are coming up on the 45-minute mark. I know we like to keep it at 30 minutes, but today we definitely went off on a nice tangent. But it was a great conversation as always.
It is. That's
Love
why
doing this every Tuesday.
On Tuesdays is so much fun.
Definitely is. And the thing is too, glad we're cutting it a little early. We actually, because we're leaving early and we're only renting this house, they started scheduling all these people to come view the house, while we're here. And
right.
That's annoying. And our heat went out today, and the heat guy, the heat goes out every year. And he showed up about 10 minutes before I went live. And I was like, hey, I don't know what you have to do, but I'm not going to be out here. So whatever.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, the troubles are almost over, bro.
1 week.
There you go.
1 week. I'm so excited. But on that note, thank you everyone that has tuned in today. I always have a blast. Thank you, chat. You guys make it. Obviously, Rex, you make it as well. And the ghost of John, I always forget to take John's name off the side. It always says comics collectibles with Rex and John. So
he likes it.
His ghost is there.
Mentioned.
But thank you again. I know you're extremely busy, and it means a lot you taking the time out of your day to sit down with me.
It's my pleasure, buddy. Always.
But thank you again, everyone. Thank you as well, and have a good day.
Take care.